What's going on, Mavericks? Blake and Chase here once again. Want to talk to you guys about the importance of personal branding. I can tell you right away in this video how important personal branding has been to myself and to Chase. We would not be as far along as we are today without personal branding. So please pay attention to this video because it will help you regardless of whether you're looking for your first client or if you have a handful of clients and you're trying to get more. Personal branding will always have an importance in what you're doing and will help be an extension of your business and the things that you're trying to accomplish, whether it be new offers, whether it be originally getting yourself out there, whatever the case may be, your personal branding is going to hold a lot of weight and a lot of importance in the way that you're going to want to structure this business. Now, I will say you can build a business without personal branding, but I wouldn't choose that route personally. I think this is one of the easiest ways to do it because it doesn't require money and honestly doesn't require a lot of time. It's just consistency. But I think by not doing personal branding, you're hurting yourself in a few different ways. And I'll dive a little bit deeper into those into the video. Chase, touch on a little bit about personal branding and its importance to you so far in your career when it comes to business.
Yeah, definitely. So I do think it's important to differentiate between like your company's branding and your personal branding. Now, like you mentioned, it is an extension of your company, especially if you have, a business that you're trying to, connect with an audience, but it's more of marketing yourself and then allowing that channel to be what connects with the audience because we're people and so we connect with other people and then allowing that to be almost like the inroad to, getting to know more about your business. And so there's a bunch of different ways that you could do it. Really, what it comes down to is allowing your own personality and values to shine through. So to do this, you'll want to basically you want to be connected where other people are, where your prospective audience is, the people that you want to buy your product, right? And so Facebook is probably one of the most powerful platforms for doing this because there's a lot of freedom in the kind of content that you could put out there in order for people to find you, that there's all sorts of different groups that you can be a part of. And so finding the places that your audience hangs out is extremely important. And then you'll want to basically have a cadence of content that really showcases who you are. And so you want to showcase who you are as an individual, your likes and dislikes, your expertise, and then your values and the things that matter to you. And so creating the content around that is how you kind of create that personal brand that people can connect to.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think there's a disconnect when you think about personal brand and like business. So I think what most business owners think personal branding would be to go in there and talk about their business 24/7 in a way that's quite frankly kind of boring and not engaging, right? An example of that would be, hey guys, here's my business. We've been in business for 10 years. No one cares, if I'm being honest with you. And it's more so they want to get to know you as a person. And then that's when you're able to kind of enhance business along with it. Because let's say on Facebook that you're talking about your business. What I like to do and what Chase likes to do, we want to talk about our personal stuff on our profiles. Like it's our profile, it's for personal. I don't want to turn this into a business page. But what's neat about this is people are getting to know you on a personal level. They're getting to understand, like Chase mentioned, your values and the way that you like to do things. And you can talk about your business in a way that's talking about you. So, an example of that would be being happy about something that happened during the day in your business and mentioning that. I just got this great 5-star review from my client. He's been with us for 2 years. These are the kind of things that drive me to continue to build my business, right? Like that would be a really good business personal connection post because you were talking about your excitement within your business, but you're also mentioning the business because if you have with that profile post someone who is interested in you and your business, that's going to hold a lot of weight. You're not asking for anything in return. You're just speaking of the excitement that you have about your business and showcasing it in a unique way without asking. And that's usually where you're going to get the best result. Typically, when we ask, we don't get as much in return. But when we talk about ourselves and our business and our life in a certain way, and then business is mentioned, I have gotten a lot more of a result from that. And interestingly enough, it's at the point where I don't necessarily post that to get that reaction. There's sometimes I just want to highlight my wins and the things that I'm excited about. And in return, we get business, which is kind of interesting. So that's another piece of this. They're going to be able to read your desperation, right? So if you're posting as if you're just desperate to get business and posting about your business every day, that's not personal branding, right? If you're just every post once a day is about business, you're going to drown people out. They want to get to know you. They want to understand you. And them being able to do that is then going to help build interest in not just you, but the things that you offer and your business as well. Chase, Chase is a great example, something that he's recently done, sort of side project. Chase is fantastic with graphics. And when he talks about those things, there's an excitement there. You can tell that he really enjoys what he does. And he recently was talking about that, and not even really with a true commitment to post about it and get business. It was more so to talk about what he does and showcasing some of his work. And lo and behold, people reach out to him about graphics because he didn't ask. He spoke about something he's passionate about and he does good work. So he checked multiple boxes to where somebody who has even a slight interest in that connects with Chase, connects with what he does, and made it very easy for them to then just ask him for the sale, which is so much easier than you asking them for the sale. Chase, you want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah. So a big aspect of this is you're wanting to, first of all, you're crafting your persona. You're crafting your persona in a way that you want people to view you. And then a big aspect of personal branding is showing your work. If you have something cool or a skill or something that you like to talk about, that you're passionate about, and that you're hoping people buy from you, like Blake said, you don't want to do this every single day, but showing your work, saying,
Once
hey,
a
look at
week,
this
I'd
cool.
say. Once a week,
Yeah.
maybe twice a week, depending on how often you're posting. If you're posting every day, I'm okay with 2 of them a week. I like to keep it, I would say about 15 to 20% of what you post, maybe even lower than that.
Yep.
But yeah, it just comes down to your structure and how often. But anyway, continue on, Chase. Sorry.
Yeah, for sure. And I even have, and I could post this in the group, where I have a posting schedule to where it does space it out in such a way that it doesn't, push people, that turn people off, where it does seem like you're desperate, but it's more of like a cadence. But anyway, so I literally just started a design company where I do branding, logo designs, brand strategy, stuff like that. Stuff that I really enjoy because it's what I'm skilled at, it's what I know about, it's what I've done for years. And I literally just made one little simple post. I had somebody come out and ask me to do their branding for their brand new company. And then I posted, about a week later, some of what I'd been working on with that. Lo and behold, I get a message again from somebody else saying, hey, can you meet with me to talk about branding my company? And so, when it's all said and done, I mean, I was getting new clients for a brand new business without even really trying that hard. It was just mostly just posting about what I'm passionate about, what I like to do, and then posting the results so that people could see it.
Yeah, and I'll touch on that a little bit. I have another example as well when it comes to personal and business and the connection of it. Our business branding was my dog. That's the logo. And which Chase has touched on that logo many times once again, graphics. But one of the recent designs that you did for our marketing company, Chase, was with someone who connected with that same piece, right? So we connected on a personal level because he loved the fact that my dog was my logo and he wanted to do the same. We connected on that level to where we both have an interest in our animals and in dogs. And I can tell you for a fact, him knowing that about me when we got on a call and me just talking about how I felt about my dog and why we made it our brand, there was no way he was going to get a logo from anyone else. There was no way because he resonated so much with something that is personal to me and on a personal level to him that it just made too much sense not to do business together. And it made for a simple sale in reality, and a great project for us. We had a lot of fun with it. Wizard EC's got all kinds of insane graphics now based off what Chase had originally built for him. Just did a trailer wrap that looks amazing. And it was a lot of fun to see that come to life. But that's another example of connecting on a personal level with your branding as well. That made it an easy sale. We weren't even trying to get the sale. He came to us based on what we've done. And then when we connect on that personal level, it became a sale. So there's multiple examples of this, right? Whether it's something that you're doing connects with them, whether it's the things that you post about connects to them and then goes into business. So there's a few different ways that this works. But the number one thing to understand that will never change is that people really want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. And if you're branding yourself on a personal level, you are building that trust on an insane level. There's nothing that can beat that. You can run ads, you can, post in groups and do a lot of different things. But when you're genuinely posting about you and they're seeing things about you, nothing will build know, like, and trust more because they're getting to know you and they're getting to know your business and why it all connects in the first place, why you're passionate about it, why it's even important instead of just money. We all know that money is a motivator, but if you can give them a bigger why to what you do, they're going to want to work with you, especially if it resonates with them. Without going too long into this, I feel like I could talk personal branding all day, and perhaps we'll put another video together on this because I really like talking about branding and personal branding, business branding, branding in general. Let's talk about platforms. We touched a little bit on Facebook. I think Facebook is right at the top for personal branding. It's easy. It's easy to do so. You're able to utilize pictures, words. You can build a story pretty well on Facebook, and you can get really good traction when you do this consistently, and you have a generally decent sized friend group. Guys, you don't need a 5,000 friends, 3,000 friends, or anything like that. This could be something that you literally have 100 friends who are in that circle who can maybe do business with you, and a handful of jobs comes out of that. We're not talking about a large group here. YouTube's a huge one. I know getting behind the camera is not everybody's forte, but the beauty of YouTube and video is you can utilize that video both on your YouTube as well as your Facebook. You can take clips of some of those videos and put it on your Facebook. You can also use it on Instagram. Get comfortable with video. It's not a necessity. I think it will help you a ton if you're able to do it because people are connecting the most on video, but I would suggest it. If you really are scared and can't do video or don't have somebody who does, then at a minimum, make sure that you're posting on Facebook about yourself, your values, your business, and possibly Instagram if your audience is there. Instagram can be kind of tricky. It's just pictures based. Nobody's really truly reading a lot of the captions, but it can be done. I would say Facebook's going to be your best route. LinkedIn is another one. I don't have a ton of experience. I don't like LinkedIn as a platform. It's built as a business platform. So for some of you, that might be a fantastic route, and you could treat it sort of like Facebook. That's not one that I use personally, but again, could be great for you. But I'd say Facebook and YouTube are the top two. Chase, anything that you want to touch on that to kind of wrap up on personal branding?
No, I think you hit the nail on the head for sure. But definitely, one of the most important aspects of this is really giving a window into your life, into who you are. And that requires being vulnerable. But the key thing is whenever you're vulnerable in that way, it connects with people because they see that you're a human being with, desires, goals, values, and things that you enjoy just like they do. And it allows them to, grow in that trust with what you have to offer because they've already connected with you on a personal level. And so get vulnerable, share your wins, but also share your losses. And, I think that, if you do that consistently, and that's another aspect of it, then, the sky's the limit, really. There's people that have built $1 million brands just strictly from, doing just that.
Yeah, and I'll finalize it with this, of what Chase just said. Consistency is the most important part. This isn't something you need to do and spend 2 hours a day on, but you will want to be as consistent as possible. If you could post every day, once every day, you want to be consistent. You want to build a routine around this. Number two is vulnerability. You're going to have people when you start, if you haven't posted on Facebook that often before, and you start posting about yourself and all these different things, you're going to have people call you out on it. It's going to happen. I know it did for me. My friends were like, why are you posting so much? What are you posting about? Because they weren't used to it, and they were kind of ribbing me. And some, depending on your group and your surroundings, some might get to you. Some of it might get to you. It didn't get to me because we give ourselves a hard time anyway, but for some it may, and I've heard that's an effect on people. Don't let that get to you because I can promise you, if it's somebody who's truly being negative, when you start having success, I guarantee you that same person is going to be talking about how great you are and how they backed you since the beginning. and knew that you were full potential. Trust me, watch it happen. Then lastly, something very important that I missed on that Chase hit. It isn't always positive, guys. When you mention your business, it doesn't always have to be the great things that you've done, the great review that you had, the great day that you had. A lot of times, the thing that gets the most, in my opinion, the most traction is when we talk about the bad stuff. When I mentioned, we just didn't have our best day of business. We made a mistake that, we're going to make sure we don't make again. You know why? Because that vulnerability and that realness attracts people. They see that. They know we're not perfect. They know I'm not perfect on a personal level, on a business level. And when I'm willing to talk about that, that attracts people. They go, you know what? I knew they weren't perfect anyway, but to see them talk about it in front of everybody shows that they care and they're going to do everything to not make that mistake and get better again. Right. So don't hide from that. Embrace it at times, and I try and mix that in when we talk about it. Because if you just talk about how great you are 24/7, look at this review we got. Look how great we are. Come on. Everybody knows that it's not perfect. It's not all roses. So give them a little bit of the negative too, in personal and on the business side. Have some vulnerability. Things happen in our lives that are challenging that we need to navigate. And people resonate with that because guess what? They're going through those same challenges or they've been through them. So keep that in mind as well. Build a rotation and a system around doing this and basically build something that is consistent and that you can really showcase who you are. Don't showcase who you think they want you to be. Showcase who you are. People will be able to notice the difference.